Rebuilding Uganda, episode number 11. Today is December 4th, 2025. My fellow Ugandans, for many decades, Ugandans have been demanding to see an end to Museveni's dictatorship. However, a mere removal of Museveni from power is not going to solve Uganda's current problems. What is needed is to remove Museveni and the entire NRM and its extensive bacteria which are spread throughout the country. The question to all Ugandans is, how do you want Uganda to be governed after Museveni and his NRM are gone? Well, there are several ways to look at it. We, the members of Uganda Indigenous Peoples Liberation Organization, propose the following. 1. As soon as NRM regime is deposed, the parliament shall be dissolved. All political prisoners shall be set free. 2. NRM party shall be outlawed. 3. The current 146 NRM districts shall be nullified and reset to the original 16 districts of Uganda. Those districts shall be the federal states, which make the Federal Republic of Uganda. With that, we shall have done away with a unitary system of government and replaced it with a federal system of government. Yes, Uganda is going to go federal. The entire country. 4. Members of the armed forces shall be ordered to stay in their respective barracks until new orders are issued. 5. All banks shall be closed for a certain period of time so as to avoid draining the banks by crooks and criminals who may be running away. 6. All borders of Uganda shall be closed to people coming in. Only people who are exiting shall be allowed to cross the borders after undergoing thorough checking, lest they steal national assets. Number 7. Non-Ugandans shall not be allowed to serve in the new Uganda's security forces nor in the civil service. 8. Uganda shall cease to export electricity to Rwanda. Now we are proposing also short-term plans. The following reconstruction policies shall be implemented. Federal system. The people of Uganda have repeatedly expressed their interest in governing themselves under a federal system. Unfortunately, selfish and political leaders who were prone to brutal dictatorship refused to abide by the wishes of the people. We shall announce from day one that Uganda is going to implement a federal system of government. A comprehensive framework of the proposed federal system shall be implemented in each of the 16 federal states of Uganda, and as it will be outlined later. Prior to that, traditional leaders, elders, and statesmen in each district, religious leaders, and other stakeholders shall be brought together to design a structure within which this system shall operate. Police Department. All members of the current Uganda Police shall be asked to submit their resignation letters. Each federal state shall establish a police department that is responsible for keeping peace and security in their respective state. Whoever may wish to continue serving as a police officer in our new Uganda shall reapply to join the police department of his or her respective federal state. For example, a current police officer who comes from the federal state of Teso can apply to join the newly established Teso State Police Department. A non-Itesot person, as long as she is an indigenous Ugandan, can apply to join that police department. It is their prerogative to accept or deny that applicant. Education. Schools which historically belonged to different denominations shall be returned to their original rightful owners. The national government and the different federal state governments shall be required to build schools as they see fit in order to avail to the people with the appropriate facilities for education of our children. A special commission shall be established to draw up short-term and long-term educational development plans. Education shall be free and compulsory to Ugandans from kindergarten to high school level. Academic training in sciences, engineering, and information technology shall be given special emphasis in the forthcoming educational curriculum. Equally as important is training our young people in vocational and technical skills which will enable them to become productive citizens. We cannot improve education in the country without an ample supply of well-trained and qualified teachers in every category. For that matter, teacher training is going to be given immediate attention. Also, attracting Ugandans who run away and are teaching in some foreign countries will be asked to return home, and a special program will be designed to attract them back home. Health services. Emergency rehabilitation of the health sector shall be implemented. This is going to require dealing with the physical structures which are currently horribly dilapidated, supplying those facilities with modern equipment that is necessary to maintain the health of our people. A comprehensive plan of action shall be drawn up by a team of experts to cover the entire country. We anticipate utilization of the newly formed Green Brigade personnel to provide the manpower needed in repairing the medical facilities which are around the country, which are now dilapidated. A special program to attract Ugandan medical professionals serving abroad shall be looked into. Roads and streets. This sector will require immediate attention as well as short-term and long-term repairing, restructuring, and rebuilding commitments. Again, this is where the Green Brigade will play a key role in cleaning up the dilapidated roads and streets for the short run. Experts shall be employed to draw up short-term and long-term development plans of our roads and streets. Well, don't forget, we have to correct the mistakes as have been done so far. We've seen Kampala flooding because of mismanagement and corrupt investors who just want to make money at the expense of human life. We have to clean up that city. The economy. Agriculture is the backbone of Uganda's economy. Mining is coming up as a major source of income. It will be the policy of our new government to make sure that Uganda's economy is in the hands of Ugandans and is benefiting our people first and foremost. Primary producers of cash crops such as coffee and cotton will be required to re-establish their cooperatives and process their crops into consumer products so that they can maximize their gain out of their own sweat. The target is to process locally at least 80% of Uganda's cotton into final products. Agriculture and other primary production can and will be the engine of our industrialization policy. Museveni's contracts with foreign mining companies and many other foreign investment contracts shall be reviewed for purpose of bringing them in conformity with our new national economic development strategy. Indigenous commercial banks and other native financial institutions which were gobbled up by Museveni's family members shall be scrutinized and returned to their original owners. I'm talking about Greenland Bank, the Cooperative Bank, Tefe, and many others. Trading permits which were issued by Museveni to non-Ugandans shall be reviewed and realigned into the new policy of Ugandanizing our economy. A number of specialized commissions of experts shall be established to study each sector of the economy and recommend policy changes that will serve the interests of Ugandans. Green Brigade, you've heard me mention this word before. Currently, Ugandans are suffering from a very high unemployment of nearly 80% or more, especially among the youth. The Green Brigade shall be established to wipe out unemployment by creating jobs in public projects such as rehabilitating medical facilities, cleaning up and repairing streets and roads. Green Brigades recruits shall receive accelerated training in specialized skills of their assigned projects, such as masonry work, building construction, painting, road repairs, furniture making, electrical work, communication equipment installation, etc., etc. This is going to be similar to what the Americans had under President Roosevelt, called the New Deal Project. Refugees. Uganda is always going to be a home to genuine refugees because we have also been refugees in some other countries. All refugees in Uganda will have to be registered and provided with the required assistance in cooperation with the UN High Commission for Refugees. Non-refugees, or those who are falsely pretending to be refugees, will have to be given special attention. Electricity. Electrical power shall be distributed to all the federal states of Uganda as a matter of priority. Only after the country has been well served with electrical power can we consider exporting that power to neighboring countries. The federal states. There are 16 original states which form the Federal Republic of Uganda. Each state shall have an elected local government that is responsible for domestic services such as police, security, local roads, collection of taxes, overseeing education opportunities for their residents, local customs and traditions, land management, water and environmental management, etc., etc. A detailed plan of how the federal states shall be organized and managed will be issued as soon as NRM is out of power and out of the country. Long-term plan of action. By long-term, we do not mean things which will wait for years to be put in action. We mean programs of action which will be implemented as soon as NRM is deposited and the new policies are implemented. These are plans of action that will take some years. These will go on for many years to come, but started instantly nevertheless. Among the long-term programs of action are but not limited to building a national army and a national police on top of having a federal police force in every federal state. Taxes and revenue distribution, management and utilization of Uganda's natural resources, distribution of clean water and clean energy, including electricity, rebuilding the national economy, foreigners' participation in the national economic development strategy, employment and labor policies, infrastructural development, and the presence of refugees in Uganda, etc. The armed forces. We shall build a truly professional national army, not a tribal one as has hitherto been the case. Elaborate plans of developing a national professional army shall be produced later. This much can be said. Only indigenous Ugandans shall be allowed to serve in the new national army, intelligence, prisons, and other security organizations. Recruits shall come from well-vetted families and communities throughout Uganda. Now we turn to State House. That building is unfit for any civilized statesman to reside in, since it has been a home to a satanic and murderous dictator, Yoweri Museveni, for 40 years. We shall turn it into a national museum of Uganda's suffering. We request all Ugandans to collect and preserve evidence of Museveni's Tutsi brutality and criminal action that will be displayed in that new museum. A special commission of experts will be set up to organize and manage that new museum. Finances. Uganda is not a poor country. Its wealth has been squandered by corrupt crooks, thieves, and incompetent managers. Billions of shillings which could easily finance education, health, and roads are wasted in thievery expenditures for the Speaker of Parliament, for State House budget, for members of Parliament, avaricious salaries of around 50 million shillings per month per person. Imagine 50 million per month per person, and you have 556 useless people sitting in that building doing nothing but stealing. That is horrible. And we cannot allow that. So many millions of shillings are distributed in the so-called iPod program, which is the government is giving money to political parties to oppose it. Imagine that. Numerous and expensive vehicles for government officers, mechanized armed police to subdue grumbling citizens, a huge military force to fight who? All this money is wasted when it could have served the people of Uganda. Just imagine 34 billion shillings is given to NRM party to help the party run, or rather destroy the country. 6 billion shillings is paid to NUP so that it can oppose the government which is funding it. 3.1 billion is given to FDC. This money could pay salaries of thousands of teachers. Ill-gotten wealth by Museveni and his cabal will be confiscated and sold to raise funds for national development. Excess vehicles shall be turned into ambulances for all hospitals and health centers as may be needed. Others shall be auctioned off to raise funds for rehabilitation work. Foreign bank accounts of thieves shall be pursued, and the funds therein shall be repatriated to Uganda. Fraudulent and extravagant public expenditures, such as paying gratuities to parliamentarian commissioners, shall be stopped so that money may be used to finance meaningful and useful projects. The recent payment of 650 million shillings to the leader of opposition, Honorable Bisechezi, could pay salaries of nurses at Kumi, Soroti, and the leader hospitals. But all this money was pumped into that one man alone. 650 million shillings, they call it gratuity, on top of receiving 50 million shillings salary, plus all the other expenses paid to maintain him as leader of the opposition. That is nonsense. The Constitution. Within less than 5 years after Museveni has been thrown out, a new constitution shall be debated and written. It will be followed by conducting free and fair democratic elections of every federal state office bearer and the members of the National Assembly. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your attention. On behalf of the Uganda Indigenous Peoples Liberation Organization, I want to wish you in advance a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.